Bitcoin has crashed and currently is trading at 36952 or 37,000 US dollars and around 51.7 thousand Australian dollars. Is this the bottom or will we see further downside? Welcome back to Crypto Life Inc. I'm Ed here, living the crypto life in my singlet and thongs, and today I'd like to welcome you back to the Bitcoin price on this glorious Australia Day pump. And this is after following our big crash, and we have crashed quite a bit. If we have a look at I guess the percentage wise, we've gone around 52%, all the way from around 69k to 33k US dollars. And we're looking at US dollars today because that's the way the world works. Everyone looks at US dollars and that affects the psychological price. This is pretty common. I mean, this is a high volatility asset, and it's important to look at the long-term focus and not be afraid of these sort of drawdowns, and to view these drawdowns as a good buying opportunity. This index for peaks is really good because it sets the price of Bitcoin in a logarithmic chart where the price increases incredibly over a long period of time. So you can view the entire price history of Bitcoin along this like rainbow looking line here. And as you can see, in 2011 it started at $12 and then it had a dip to like $2, and now it's like crazy trading at 36,000. So over the long term, you can see that investing in Bitcoin is one of the best things you can do for your financial health. But you can also see that because it is such a high volatility asset, we do have peaks here. And as you can see, the CBBBI, this index of 12 different technical indicators, actually measures the level of which we are close to the peak. Now, it's been good for the last two peaks, and I've noticed that if you get rid of some of the sort of more edge cases, you actually get better results. And we'll dive into one of these specific indicators, the Pi cycle indicator right here, a little bit later, because that's very good for the long-term health of the market. As you can see, this is the logarithmic chart. Over the long term, it does go up. So do not be afraid of these dips. Now, I want you to look at these two indicators selected. So we've got rid of the other 12. So we just have two of the 12. As you can see, anything above 80 is a good start taking profit region. So if you started taking profit around anything above 80 on this chart, so the last time we were above 80 was basically around 33k and 61k. So this would have been a really good time to take profits in March 2021 and also October, November 2021 as well. I want to get into the fear and greed index because this is really important. I think for this year, any time that we've hit a 10, that is generally a buy signal. A 10 is generally we've bottomed. It doesn't really go lower than that, really. It really does not. So we hit a 10 on the 8th of Jan. So if we look at the price, just shift back to the price at the moment. When was the 8th of Jan? 8th of Jan was here. So 8th of Jan. Yeah, 8th of Jan was here. So if you look at the second drive towards the 10, the 11th, the 23rd, that is pretty much one of the near bottoms of our price over here. Now, I want to get into the Pi cycle top indicator. So this is a long-term indicator. Basically, it's predicted the last 1, 2, 3, 4 tops in Bitcoin history. So it's pretty accurate. I mean, 4 out of 4, that's not bad. And right now, we are getting a little downside curvature. But the thing is, we actually went higher than the previous top this time, and I think that we still have the potential to reach another top. Every time that we've had a top and then we've gone above that price, generally we have another top following that, and then we have a bear market. So that is just the history of Bitcoin. The new flu variants generally cause a 50% drawdown. Now, in the last stream, I thought that because we had 2 variants already, we wouldn't have such a significant drawdown. But then there was also the confluence of the Fed increasing interest rates. And what that does is, because it increases interest rates, it means that there's less financial liquidity in the markets, and that means that generally that prices tend to retrace from that. So in our first instance of, the global flu pandemic was basically on the 11th of March, there was an announcement from the World Health Organization of a global pandemic, right? So, and then after what happened, we had this massive drawdown of, let me just draw it out for you. We had a drawdown of around 50% from that region. So ever since the announcement came out on the 11th, we had a drawdown. And I've marked the second one for the second variant right here. And this one took a while. And a complete drawdown of around 52%. And guess what? We had a third variant, right? Right here on the 9th, I believe. You can dive deep into the article over here. But I read it and it said the 9th, and look, we had a 50% drawdown as well. Exchanges, and that really happened on like near this day on the 14th of April. And for the 9th of November, there was also the Bitcoin ETF, the spot ETF that was released around that time. And as you can see, like generally with these news events, you buy the hype and then you sell the events. And that's just what happened here. There was a lot of confluences with these regions. So sorry if you missed it, but this in hindsight does seem pretty obvious. So next time with any COVID variants, we're going to just be looking at it and observing when the World Health Organization recognizes that, and then react accordingly, especially with any bullish seeming news. Now let's dive into some price analysis, which is, we're going to dive into some lower term timeframes, and I'm going to bring up some moving averages. So what is a moving average? A moving average is just the average of the price over a certain period. So we've got the, I'll just show you my values right here. We've got the 200 simple moving average in white. The red is the 10 simple moving average. The 21, the 55, the 89, and the 200 are exponential moving averages over here. I tend to use the exponential moving averages. Basically, they act as support zones. So if you're in a bearish case, it's like it's places where the price could bounce down. So if it passes the red, then it goes to the yellow. If it passes the yellow, then it goes to the green, and passes the green, it goes to the blue. If it passes the blue, it goes to the purple. And basically, the longer the moving average, the stronger the bounce. You can see we had a bounce from the purple 200 exponential moving average over here, and that was a good trade if you took it. So right now, on the 4-hour time frame, this is just a standard RSI. We've got some fancy colors, don't worry about that, but pretty much we are seeing a sort of a descending channel over here. And as you can see, we've got some pretty good bounces here. So over here on the 30 mark of the RSI, we had a nice little bounce, basically from the 46.8k region, and we sort of had bounces every time we've hit this trend line on the RSI, and right now we're reaching the top of this RSI level. So what I do expect that we're going to be retracing again quite soon, although I think we might retake some of this wick, so maybe around 34k, have another bounce there, a higher low, and that would look really good for a bullish case on Bitcoin. And I just want you to know that in the long term, on the daily time frame, right, which is what I'm looking at right now, I don't expect to see a reversal, and I'm not comfortable saying that we will have a reversal until we reach probably around like 45. And I know that's quite kind of late, but when you do that, when you have that late sort of shift and reversal, you really do see that the trend does continue, And that's what we're looking at. We're looking first and foremost at trend, and when the trend continues, it's more reliable. So if we look at the RSI trend line for the daily, what did we see? So we had an RSI trend line in the past 2021 from January all the way to July. And once we broke that, that was when the trend continued. And we had a nice little move from this region, 50%. So if you took that trade, I mean, congratulations. And then we had another one where we came down and we broke down, right? We broke down and look where we're going. So once we broke up, right, we had another move and that was 43%. So that's also very, very good. Now, this is the daily time frame, so be aware that these moves do take a while, but we do have another descending trend line that we need to break above in order to be considering like another move upwards, right? And what do we notice? That we do get these like sort of bounces along these regions on the trend line. Once we break above it, we get another bounce, and that's generally the bottom. I'm like leaning towards that this 33k level is the bottom. I don't think we will see 30k because of the confluence of the fear and greed index hitting like 10 11 for the second time, and in addition we've already seen a bottoming region of this level at 30k. So I think there's a lot of market participants who are waiting for that 30k level that we probably won't see. And we also did fill the CME gap. If you know, you know, at 33k. So that is a good bounce region, and we also have another bounce here. But I do think we need to see another higher low, probably take back some of this wick, maybe around 35k, 34k, and then we'll see upside. And this might be in confluence with the FOMC meeting later today. So do check it out, because if they mention anything about interest rates increasing, that's generally bad for the price. But if they mention more certainty about like postponing the interest rate or maybe reducing interest rates, that'd be very, very good for price. And I would expect maybe like a stop hunt low to 35, 34k, and then increasing from there. All right. Thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're having another Ethereum update. If you're interested in that, please subscribe so you do see it. And I just want to thank you and wish you another great sunny day on this Australia Day. And despite wherever you are around the world, I hope you're doing well, and I wish you all the best.